Welcome to the Stronger with Age podcast, because aging is just the beginning. And welcome to this deep dive,
Ooh.
where we're really going to get into something that touches so many of us. I think as we get a little more seasoned, we're talking about sleep, understanding, and more importantly, improving how we sleep as the years roll on.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, if you've found yourself counting sheep more than actually sleeping lately,
Oh, yeah.
you are definitely in good company.
That's so true. It's surprisingly like
Yeah, will you?
a widespread issue.
Yeah.
You think about this.
Yeah.
Roughly 1 in 3 American adults will tell you they don't get enough restful sleep every single day.
Wow.
And, when we look specifically at older adults like ourselves, that number jumps up even higher.
Oh, really?
Research tells us that over half of seniors experience insomnia at some point.
Wow.
So if you're finding sleep elusive,
Yeah,
you are far from alone.
absolutely. And it's not just about feeling a bit blah the next day. You know that good quality sleep
Mm.
is absolutely foundational for our overall health
Right.
and for living a long and vibrant life.
Absolutely.
It's tied into everything from how energized and focused we are during the day to preventing some pretty serious health challenges down the road.
Right.
So, for this deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
our mission is simple but vital. We dug through the latest research to pull out the key insights
Right.
and the truly actionable steps that you can take.
Yeah.
We want to understand why your sleep patterns might be shifting as you age, and most importantly, what you can actually do
Yeah.
to start getting more of those precious restorative nights of sleep. Okay,
Yes.
let's unpack this.
Okay.
What's the deal? Why does sleep seem to become
Yeah.
such a different ballgame as we get older?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And the first thing to know is this.
Okay.
Forget that old idea that you need less sleep as you age.
Really?
The science is clear. Your body still needs around 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night, just like when you were younger.
Okay.
The real difference is often in your body's ability to actually achieve that deep, restful sleep.
Right. So it's not about needing less fuel.
Yeah.
It's about the engine not running quite as smoothly.
Right. Exactly.
So what are some of these normal age-related changes that happen with our sleep? What's going on behind the scenes?
Well, let's talk about something called sleep architecture.
Okay.
Think of your sleep as having different stages,
Okay.
almost like levels in a game.
Okay.
Deep sleep, also known as slow wave sleep, is like the most restorative level. It's when your body really repairs and rejuvenates.
Okay.
As
Yeah.
we age, we tend to spend less time in this deep sleep
Oh, okay.
and more time in the lighter stages of sleep.
Obviously.
The result,
Yeah.
your sleep becomes more fragmented, meaning you might wake up more easily
Yeah.
and more often during the night.
Yeah.
And even when you do sleep, it might not feel as deeply refreshing as it used to.
That makes so much sense. I definitely find myself waking up at the slightest noise now,
Yeah.
which never used to happen.
Right.
What else shifts?
Another really interesting change involves your circadian rhythms. Imagine this as your internal 24-hour clock,
Okay.
the conductor of your body's daily rhythm orchestra,
Okay.
telling you when it's time to be awake, when it's time to sleep.
Okay.
As you age, this clock often experiences a phase advance.
Okay.
Think of it like becoming more of a morning person,
Okay.
sometimes earlier than you'd like.
Yeah.
You might find yourself feeling tired earlier in the evening
Right.
and consequently waking up earlier in the morning,
Yeah.
even if your alarm isn't set.
That completely explains those 5 a.m. wake-up calls.
Yeah.
I always wondered why that started happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also noticed if my sleep schedule gets thrown off, say, by daylight saving time,
Right.
it takes me ages to feel normal again. Is that part of this aging picture too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your body's ability to adjust to changes in your sleep schedule
Okay.
tends to become less flexible
Cool. Okay.
as you age,
Mhm.
whether it's the time shift of daylight saving
Right.
or dealing with jet lag after traveling.
Right.
That adjustment period can feel longer and more disruptive than it used to.
Okay, so we're seeing these shifts in how we sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's look under the hood
Yep.
at what's happening in our bodies to cause these shifts.
Right.
What are some of the physiological factors at play?
One key player is the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN,
Okay.
located in the hypothalamus of your brain.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Think of the SCN as the master control center
Okay.
for your body's internal clock.
Okay.
As we age, this area can undergo some natural deterioration,
Okay.
which can affect its ability to effectively regulate those crucial circadian rhythms we just discussed.
Interesting. So the brain's sleep conductor isn't conducting the orchestra quite as powerfully as it used to.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Additionally, there's often a decrease in the production of melatonin.
Okay.
You've probably heard of melatonin.
Yeah.
It's a hormone that plays a vital role in promoting sleep
Okay.
and helping to synchronize your circadian rhythms.
Right.
Lower levels of melatonin can make it harder for you to fall asleep and stay asleep.
I see.
It's not just about the amount, though.
Okay.
The timing of the remaining melatonin release
Oh.
might also shift.
I've definitely heard about melatonin supplements.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably touch on those later.
Absolutely.
What else contributes to these internal changes?
Your exposure to daylight is another important factor.
Okay.
Light is a really powerful cue for your circadian clock,
Okay.
signaling to your body when it should be awake.
Okay.
Older adults who spend more time indoors, perhaps those in nursing homes,
Okay.
or individuals with conditions like Alzheimer's, might not get enough of this crucial light exposure,
I see.
which can further throw off their sleep-wake cycle.
Right.
Finally, there can also be subtle changes in your body's ability to regulate its core temperature as you age.
Okay.
And this can also have an impact on sleep patterns.
So it sounds like it's this combination of changes in the architecture of our sleep itself, in our internal clock, in the production of key hormones,
Right.
and even in how we interact with light.
Absolutely.
That's quite a complex picture.
Yeah.
Now, beyond these normal age-related shifts,
Go
what
ahead.
are some of the specific sleep issues
Mm.
that older adults often encounter? Things that go beyond just the normal changes.
Unfortunately, the list can be quite extensive.
Okay.
Insomnia is probably the most prevalent,
Okay.
especially for those of you age 60 and older.
Okay.
Now, insomnia isn't just about not getting enough hours of sleep.
Right.
It can also mean struggling to fall asleep in the first place,
Mm.
waking up frequently during the night and having trouble getting back to sleep,
Yeah.
or even experiencing sleep that doesn't feel truly restorative,
Right.
leaving you feeling tired and groggy even after you spend time in bed.
That sounds incredibly frustrating.
Yes.
What are some of the other common sleep disturbances?
Sleep apnea
Okay.
is another really significant issue.
Okay.
This is when you experience repeated pauses in your breathing
Oh.
during sleep,
Okay.
which can lead to your body not getting enough oxygen.
Oh, wow.
Symptoms to watch out for include loud snoring,
Okay.
gasping for air, or choking during sleep,
Okay.
and feeling excessively sleepy throughout the day,
Oh,
even after what should have been a full night's rest.
wow.
It's crucial to get this checked out by a doctor,
Yeah.
because if it goes untreated,
Yeah.
it can have serious consequences for your overall health.
Definitely something to take seriously if those symptoms sound familiar.
Yeah.
What about those uncomfortable, restless feelings that can keep you awake?
Yes, movement disorders are also quite common.
Oh.
Restless leg syndrome, or RLS,
Okay.
involves this irresistible urge to move your legs,
Oh, I see.
often accompanied by unpleasant sensations like tingling, crawling, or aching.
Okay.
As you can imagine, this can make it incredibly difficult to relax and fall or stay asleep.
Yeah.
Then there's periodic limb movement disorder,
Okay.
or PLMD, where you experience repetitive twitching and jerking of your limbs during sleep. Often, the person experiencing PLMD
Right.
isn't even aware it's happening,
Wow.
but can still disrupt their sleep and the sleep of anyone sharing the bed.
I've heard about RLS. It sounds so disruptive and uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Are there other physical ailments that commonly interfere with sleep as we age?
absolutely. Nighttime urination, or nocturia, becomes more common as we age
Okay.
due to natural changes in the urinary system. Having to get up multiple times during the night to use the bathroom
Yeah.
can significantly fragment your sleep and make it hard to get those long, uninterrupted stretches of rest.
Right. Also, while many people mistakenly believe that feeling tired during the day is just a normal part of aging,
Okay.
it's actually not.
Oh, okay.
Excessive daytime drowsiness can be a red flag
I see.
for an underlying sleep disorder or another health issue that needs to be addressed.
Right.
REM sleep behavior disorder, or RBD,
Right.
is another condition where people physically act out their dreams during the REM stage of sleep,
Yeah.
which can be potentially dangerous for themselves and their lead partners.
Wow. Okay.
Finally, chronic pain conditions such as arthritis
Yeah.
can be a major obstacle to good sleep,
Yeah.
creating a really vicious cycle where pain keeps you awake,
Right.
and lack of sleep can actually make the pain feel even worse.
It's like a cascade effect, isn't it? One thing seems to trigger another, making it harder and harder to get a decent night's sleep. And I can only imagine that, pre-existing health conditions can also play a significant role.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. A number of medical conditions can have a direct impact
Okay.
on your sleep.
Okay.
These include conditions like Alzheimer's disease,
Right.
depression,
Right.
anxiety disorders,
Right.
heart disease, and diabetes.
Oh, wow.
It's also important to remember that many older adults are managing multiple health conditions simultaneously,
Right.
which unfortunately can increase the likelihood
Yeah,
of experiencing sleep problems.
that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the medications we might be taking to manage these conditions?
Right.
Can they also affect our sleep?
Medications can definitely be a contributing factor.
Okay.
Certain drugs, such as some of those used to treat high blood pressure,
Okay.
asthma, and depression,
Okay.
can have insomnia
Yeah.
as a known side effect.
Wow.
Additionally, polypharmacy,
Okay.
which is when someone is taking several different medications,
Right.
increases the risk of potential drug interactions that can negatively impact sleep.
So it really highlights the importance of regularly reviewing all our medications with our doctors.
Yes.
Especially if we start experiencing sleep difficulties.
Absolutely.
What about the mental and emotional aspects?
Yeah.
Things like stress and worry.
Psychological factors play a very significant role.
Okay.
Stress, anxiety, depression, and even grief can all contribute to sleep problems.
Right.
These emotional states can make it harder to relax your mind and body before bed,
Yeah.
leading to difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep.
Absolutely. A mind that's racing with worries
Yeah.
is definitely not conducive to restful sleep.
Right.
And I'm sure our daily habits and routines also have a big impact.
Lifestyle factors are incredibly important.
Okay.
Irregular sleep schedules, especially after retirement, when the structure of your day might change,
Yeah.
can really throw off your body's natural sleep-wake rhythms.
I see.
A lack of physical activity during the day can also contribute to poorer sleep quality at night.
Okay.
Then there's the temptation of daytime napping.
Right.
While a short nap can sometimes be refreshing,
Yeah.
long or frequent naps,
Yeah.
particularly if taken later in the day,
Yeah.
can definitely make it harder to fall asleep at night.
Right.
Finally, the timing of your consumption of caffeine and alcohol is critical.
Right.
Consuming these substances too close to bedtime
Yeah.
can significantly interfere
Yeah.
with your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep.
We all know that evening cup of coffee can be a sneaky culprit.
Absolutely.
What about our surroundings?
Why?
The actual environment we sleep in.
Your sleep environment is key.
Yeah.
Noise,
Mm.
a temperature that's too hot or too cold,
Yeah.
a mattress or pillows that aren't comfortable or supportive,
Right.
and too much light in the bedroom
Mhm.
can all negatively impact your sleep quality.
I see.
Even something as simple as a cluttered or disorganized bedroom can contribute to feelings of stress
Right.
and make it harder to fully relax.
It's almost overwhelming to think about all the potential factors
I know.
that can affect our sleep. It's a lot.
One last thing on this.
Okay.
I know many people in our age group are caregivers
Yes.
for spouses or other family members.
Right.
Does that added responsibility often disrupt sleep?
Yes. Caregiving can have a profound impact on sleep.
Okay.
The emotional stress
Right.
and the often unpredictable and irregular schedules
Yeah.
associated with caring for someone with health issues
Right.
can lead to fragmented sleep,
Okay.
increased stress levels, and overall poorer sleep quality for the caregiver.
It sounds like there are a lot of potential obstacles in the way of getting good sleep as we get older.
Sure.
But the good news is
Yes.
there are definitely things we can do about it.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about some non-pharmacological strategies.
Okay.
Things we can try without medication to
Right.
improve our sleep quality. Where should we start?
Often cited as the single most effective step you can take
Okay.
is to establish a consistent sleep schedule.
This means going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time every day,
Okay.
even on weekends.
Okay.
This regularity helps to train your body's internal clock
Okay.
and can make a huge difference in the long run.
Consistency really is key, isn't it?
It is.
Just like with eating healthy or
Mhm.
exercising regularly.
Absolutely.
What about our actual sleep space?
Right.
How can we make our bedroom more conducive to sleep?
Creating a sleep sanctuary is crucial.
Okay.
Aim to keep your bedroom cool. The ideal temperature is generally somewhere between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Minimize any distracting noises by using earplugs or a white noise machine if needed.
Okay.
Make your room as dark as possible by using
Right.
blackout curtains to block out any external light.
Okay.
And of course, invest in a comfortable mattress and pillows that provide good support
Yeah.
for your body. Interestingly,
Mm.
some of the newer adjustable beds
Right.
even have features designed to help reduce snoring and might offer more comfortable positioning,
I see.
especially if you're dealing with chronic pain.
Okay.
Finally, keeping your bedroom tidy and free of clutter
Okay.
can contribute to a more relaxed and less stressful atmosphere.
Those all sound like pretty practical and achievable steps.
They are.
What about what we do in the hour or two leading up to bedtime?
Developing a relaxing bedtime routine is incredibly beneficial.
Okay.
Aim to wind down for at least 60 minutes before you plan to turn out the lights.
Okay.
This could include quiet activities like reading a physical book, listening to calming music, practicing gentle stretching or meditation,
Okay.
or even spending some time journaling.
Okay.
The key is to avoid any stressful or stimulating activities
Right.
during this wind-down period.
And we have to talk about this one again.
I know, right?
Because it's such a big culprit for so many of us.
Yes, electronic screens.
Yes, you really want to avoid those screens before bed.
The blue light emitted from smartphones, tablets, laptops, and TVs can interfere with your body's natural production of melatonin and disrupt your circadian rhythms.
Yeah.
Try to power down all electronic devices at least 60 minutes before you plan to sleep, and keep them out of your bedroom if possible.
Easier said than done sometimes, but definitely a goal to aim for.
I agree.
What about what we eat and drink in the evening?
Be mindful of your food and drink intake, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime.
Okay.
Avoid eating heavy meals too close to sleep, as the digestion process can keep you awake.
I see.
Also, it's best to limit your consumption of caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol in the evening, as these substances can all have stimulating effects or otherwise interfere with your sleep patterns.
Good reminders.
Yeah.
Now, many older adults find a daytime nap helpful.
Yeah.
Is that generally a good or bad thing for nighttime sleep?
Daytime nap is a bit of a balancing act. Short naps, say around 20 to 30 minutes, taken earlier in the day, can sometimes be refreshing and improve alertness. However, longer naps or naps taken later in the afternoon can often interfere with your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep at night. If you're struggling with nighttime sleep, it might be worth experimenting with reducing the length or frequency of your daytime naps, or even eliminating them altogether.
So it's about finding that sweet spot with napping and erring on the side of less if nighttime sleep is an issue.
Exactly.
What about staying physically active during the day?
Engaging in regular physical activity is so important for your overall health, and it can also contribute to better sleep. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise on most days of the week. However, try to avoid strenuous workouts too close to bedtime, as the stimulating effect can make it harder to fall asleep.
I see.
Interestingly, even if you feel tired, maintaining a level of physical and social activity during the day can actually help regulate your sleep-wake cycle at night.
That's counterintuitive, but good to know.
It is.
Sometimes pushing yourself a little during the day can lead to better rest later.
Absolutely.
What about those who find their body clock shifting earlier, leading to very early bedtimes and very early wake-up calls?
For individuals experiencing that phase advance we discussed, where they naturally feel tired very early in the evening, bright light therapy might be something to explore. Timed exposure to bright light in the evening hours may help to gently shift their sleep phase later.
Interesting.
However, it's really important that this is done under the guidance of a healthcare professional who can advise on the appropriate timing and intensity of light exposure.
So light can be a disruptor, but also a potential tool.
When used correctly.
Absolutely.
That's fascinating. Now, I know many people have heard about cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia or CBTI. What exactly is that? And how can it be beneficial for older adults struggling with sleep?
CBTI is a structured, evidence-based therapy that specifically addresses the underlying thoughts and behaviors that can contribute to and perpetuate insomnia.
I see.
It's been shown to be remarkably effective for many older adults. Some studies indicate that as many as 70 to 80% of people who complete CBTI experience significant and lasting improvement in their sleep quality.
That's a really encouraging statistic.
It is.
What does CBTI actually involve? What kind of techniques are used?
It's a multi-component approach.
Okay.
It typically includes education about healthy sleep habits, which we've already touched on, things like sleep hygiene.
It also incorporates stimulus control therapy, which aims to reestablish the association between your bed and sleep.
Right.
By recommending that you only go to bed when you're truly tired.
Okay.
And that you get out of bed if you haven't fallen asleep within about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
Returning only when you feel sleepy again.
I see.
Sleep restriction therapy is another technique.
Okay.
Where you temporarily reduce the amount of time you spend in bed.
Right.
To more closely match your actual sleep time.
Right.
Which can help to improve sleep efficiency.
I see.
This is something that should be done with professional guidance.
Okay.
CBTI also teaches various relaxation techniques to help calm your mind and body before sleep.
Okay.
And it includes cognitive restructuring,
right,
which focuses on identifying and challenging any negative or unhelpful thoughts and beliefs you might have about sleep.
It sounds like a really holistic and empowering approach, addressing both the mental and behavioral aspects of sleep. And you mentioned that the benefits can be long-lasting, which is a huge advantage.
It is, exactly. Unlike some other approaches, these skills you learn in CBT can help you manage your sleep long after the therapy itself is ended, offering a more sustainable solution for chronic insomnia.
So for any of you listening who have been struggling with persistent sleep issues, exploring CBTI with a qualified therapist could be a really valuable step.
Absolutely.
Now, let's switch gears slightly and talk briefly about over-the-counter sleep aids.
Okay.
What are some common ones people might reach for? And what should older adults be particularly aware of?
There are several OTC options you might find on pharmacy shelves.
Okay.
Melatonin is a popular one.
Right.
It's a naturally occurring hormone that, as we discussed, helps regulate sleep-wake cycles.
Right.
It can be helpful, especially if your natural melatonin production is low or if you're dealing with jet lag. When used correctly, it's generally considered safe.
Okay.
But potential side effects can include headaches, nausea, and dizziness.
I see.
In some older individuals, it might also cause a slight drop in blood pressure or body temperature.
So even with something natural like melatonin,
it's
good to be aware of potential effects.
Absolutely.
What about other natural remedies like valerian root
Yeah.
and chamomile?
Valerian root is an herbal supplement
Okay.
that some research suggests may have a mild sedative effect
Okay.
by acting on certain receptors in the brain.
I see.
However, potential side effects can include headaches, gastrointestinal upset, and in some cases, even a feeling of mental sluggishness.
Wow.
Chamomile, often consumed as a tea,
Right.
contains compounds that have mild calming properties.
Okay.
Side effects are relatively rare,
Okay.
but can include dizziness, nausea, and allergic reactions in some individuals.
I see.
It's also worth noting that chamomile can potentially interact with certain medications.
And what about the more common, readily available OTC sleep aids that contain antihistamines?
Well, antihistamines, like diphenhydramine, are widely available and can induce drowsiness. They're generally not recommended for regular use in older adults.
Oh, really?
These first-generation antihistamines have anticholinergic properties.
Okay.
And studies have linked their regular use
Right.
to an increased risk of cognitive impairment.
Oh, wow.
And even dementia.
Really?
In older populations. They can also cause a range of other troublesome side effects.
Wow.
Like confusion, dry mouth, constipation, urinary retention, blurred vision, next day sedation, and an increased risk of falls.